What is going on, guys? It is Dan here, and today we're going to be answering a very, very simple question. Is the Object 252/Defender overpowered? And the simple/easy answer to that question is, yeah, it kinda is. And I'm hoping that this replay is going to showcase why I think that is the case. So we are on Redshire right now. Not really one of my favorite maps to play, but I will admit I prefer playing from this side of the map over the other, and the encounter mode, it seems it's more fun to me than just the regular standard mode. So over here on this flank we have our friend in the T-30. He's going to be very important later on in this match, and the IS-3, who quite frankly drives forward and dies immediately. We've also got support from a T-43 and an M41 Walker Bulldog, but they don't really do a whole lot, so to all intents and purposes, the only vehicles on this flank that are going to be any sort of usefulness are going to be me in the 252 and the T-30. So Type 61 gets spotted, immediately puts a shot into the IS-3. The IS-3 takes another hit from, I believe, the AMX 5100. And that poor guy isn't going to be lasting much longer, if I remember correctly. So I move up into this position right here. This is kind of the spot that you would want to be finding in your low... So how do I want to put this? Your low-profile Soviet heavy tanks with poor gun depression, because you want to hide the lower plate, and you want to just expose your turret armor, which is pretty good on this tank. In fact, it's kind of really good. IS-3 goes down, bounce a shell from the Revolutionary. So far, we are up to 630 damage blocked. Don't worry, that number's going to go up. Type 61 takes a hit from, T-30 takes a hit from the Type 61. Now, you're probably wondering why I haven't moved up with the T-30, and the reason is because in the event that we need to fall back, which at this point looks like it could potentially be the case, considering over here we're outnumbered about 4 to 1. I mean, not 4 to 1, 2 to 1. It wouldn't be too bad of an idea to make sure that I have a way to back out. Now, at this point, I'm loading up high explosive. I don't remember why I was doing that. I think it was because I thought the Type 61 had paper armor, or I might have just accidentally hit it whenever I was going to repair my tracks. So there's my first point of damage. We've already done 644, not a whole lot, make that 1,121, but we've bounced over 2,000 damage with our armor so far. The Tier 8 Black Bulldog moves up to try to attack me from the rear, bounces a shell off my tracks, and my shell knocks out his fuel tanks, I'm guessing, and he is taken care of. Bounce a shell from the LTTB, who is definitely on the ridge near the cap circle. Now at this point I'm moving forward because I want to try to take the pressure off of the T-30, and I want to take down this FV-4202. So I was being a bit too aggressive for my own good. So the next two shots I take from him go through, but the T-49 drives up behind them and I guess puts a shot right through the engine deck and knocks out the vehicle completely. The Oso is about to go on and take down the Revolutionary, and then gets taken down by the LTTB. So there's an Oni. No longer spotted. Doesn't matter. Stalin guides our shell true to take out the Japanese super heavy tank. So just a little bit over 2,000 damage so far. Nothing incredibly special. We've blocked more damage than we've dealt, and we've also done a bit of spotting damage. So I'm trying to range in on the LTTB. I'm not really good at leading shells on very fast-moving vehicles, but I figured I'd take a punt at it. T-30 moving up, trying to see if I can get a shot into the side of his turret. It's a bit of a 50-50 chance because the turret is a bit troll. If you shoot towards the rear, it has a better chance of going in than in the front. So I think the shell actually dipped down into the hull there, but it's a bit disappointing. Bit of a low roll. In fact, you would have had a better roll with the IS-3 or basically any other 122mm gun. So that's a bit upsetting. Waiting to see if any other tanks decide to pop up. Nothing yet. Now this is the point at which I was feeling a little bit concerned. They still have 2 Tier 9 tanks. Well, we've got 2 as well, except our friend in the Patton isn't going to last much longer against the E-75 and the French Tiger. I mean, the 49. Yeah, he goes down. So, at this point, we were 2,000 hit points below them. Now it's a little bit more even, which is nice. So I'm moving up to get below the T-30's gun, at least somewhat. And I just need to get closer into the combat, because there's one thing this tank is not good at, despite the imagery I've been showing off so far. It is not good at sniping. Execute the CDC, I pull forward, and then I kind of do my regular anti-artillery movements, hugging this building as much as I can, because I don't know where the artillery is going to be hiding. T-30 just whiffs his shot completely. I don't know what he was well, he was obviously trying to shoot at me, but he did not even give that enough time to aim. Artillery takes a swing at me, hits the building, and now the Korean Patton is moving in to execute, or at least damage, the T-30. He doesn't. This goes on for a while, and he doesn't do any damage and takes a hit from the E-75. E-75 still has over 1,000 hit points. Not very good. So I load up an APCR shell to go through the E-75 a little bit more reliably. Of course, right whenever I pull the trigger, he angles his armor, and the shell ricochets off. So now I'm loading up an HE, because I just want to be able to do a little bit of damage to him to help try to make up for the fact that I just wasted an APCR shell. Instead, I'm going back to an AP1 because I want to try to take care of the T-30, because first off, I'd be in pretty good cover from the E-75 if I went down over the ridge, and the T-30 needed to die. Plus, I had the most health, so I would probably be able to trade a little bit more effectively. Luckily, the T-30 puts in a massive 155mm shell into the E-75, doing 800 damage. T-30 actually sends me a platoon invite, which is something I typically do, so it was a bit nice to have someone else do it. So yeah, we are contesting our brothers in arms now. E-75 takes a hit from the artillery. Now, at this point, I should have loaded up my last HE shell to kill the E-75 by just splashing his tank. Of course, I do that significantly later, after he's already peeked out around the corner of the building. But the main thing I'm trying to do right now is cap. Now, you're probably wondering why on earth I would want to be doing that, especially in an encounter game where there's a pretty good chance we're going to win this game anyway. Just casually bouncing a shell from the E-75 there, up to 3,090 damage blocked. But the reason I'm trying to cap right now is because I am trying to complete heavy tank mission number 7 for the T-28 heavy tank concept, which was basically I have to cap the base, and I have to do 2,000 damage. This is the last mission I had to complete before I could go on to heavy tank 15. Of course, E75 gets killed before I cap out. However, the funny part of the story is, remember that Oni I shot at? Yeah, he had 2 capture points under his belt, which one of the requirements was either to cap out the enemy base or reset it. So with blind shooting that Oni, I managed to accomplish said mission. So I kind of hope this replay was able to showcase how this vehicle can handle itself even in a tier 9 game, and why I would consider it to be ever so slightly overpowered. So my recommendation is to pick this thing up while you can, because I doubt it's going to be making a return to the gift shop anytime soon after it is finished on its sale. So with that, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe to see more of my World of Tanks / other gaming videos in general. And with that, I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.